Hi, I'm Margaret and welcome to Garden School. Well, it's the middle of winter. There's still some tasks to take care of in preparation for spring. One of the things we can do is to take a look at the tools that we stashed in our shed or in the garage or wherever and see if they're ready to go come springtime. Well, if you're like me, you probably were in a hurry the last time you used your shovel and get that job done, and then it's starting to rain, so just put the tools in the shed, we'll clean them up later. That happens a lot. Well, today I want to just show you what I'm going to do here about cleaning my tools now in the middle of winter. So I've got a little trowel here and I can see that it's got some dirt on it. I'm just going to use some hot water with some soap and a rag, just wipe that off on the metal blade. And then I'm going to wipe the handle. And then I have a little towel. I'll dry that off nicely. Now, one thing you can do to keep some of these tools sharp, and you have some play sand right here, with it's got some oil in it, and I'm just going to put my tool in here a couple times, and the abrasion from the sand will get maybe there's some dirt that's still stuck onto that. Anyway, that'll get that off, and it'll also help to keep that edge nice and sharp. So I can just wipe that off again with my towel. That's pretty good. Now, another thing I've got here is a pair of clippers. And well, if you know me, sometimes clippers have to be used as a trowel if you don't have a trowel. But this one is really dirty and I want to clean it up. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to use my rag with some soapy water. Oh yeah, that cleaned up pretty nicely. And then I'll wash the handles too. Now, if you notice that your blades are nicked, maybe you thought you were cutting a twig and actually you were trying to cut rebar or something like that. If you've got some nicks in the blade here, you can get replacement blades and that will be really helpful for you. So I'm going to dry this off. This is probably okay. I'm just going to let it dry real thoroughly before I store it away. Now, here's a tool. This is probably the tool that I use the most, and I've probably had this the longest, my shovel. It's got some dirt on the blade. Yeah, there we go. So let's wash it off. Now, the tools can be made with a plastic blade or a steel blade. You can get some really pricey ones too if you want. Now you see I'm just using a little brush that I have for outdoor use here. I'm going to try and get as much off as I can. We use our tools for so many different things, you know, even like mixing cement and moving gravel and all sorts of stuff. And then we want to just relocate a perennial and, well, it helps if it's nice and clean. So I've got the dirt off. And I'm just going to dry it off now, and then let's take a look at what's going on with the handle. Now this one has a nice wooden handle. It has a good feel. Some tools you'll find will have a plastic handle or even a metal handle. This one's got wood, and what I'm going to do, you can see that there's some big cracks here in this wood. It has done a lot of work for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an oil and just condition that wood. This is a product that you can use on like outdoor furniture. It's got an ultraviolet protection product in it. It doesn't have silicone or, oops, there we go. It doesn't have silicone, but it does have orange oil, so it smells really cool. And it's got some other plant-based waxes. So I'm just going to put some of that on there and just rub it on with this cloth. You know, there's nothing like a nice feel on a handle of a tool. That really helps you to do your work. And I might see that I've got a little bit of dirt stuck on here. The oil is helping to clean that off too. Now sometimes you might notice that there's a splinter beginning. you do not want to pick up your great favorite tool and you start to use it and get a big splinter in your hand. So if you notice something like that, take a piece of sandpaper and just try and smooth that out so that you're not going to have an injury. Well, there we go. That is making me feel good. And I'm also going to sharpen this one by putting it in the sand. Now, this is a practice that would really be good to do right after you have used your tool, before you put it away. You know, we don't always have time to wash and oil our tools, but we can get the dirt off, and putting it in the sand will also help to remove some of the dirt. And then your tool is really going to be good for hopefully a lot longer. Well, there's a couple things that we did. Clean up some tools. Maybe think about a new tool that you want to get, or one you haven't used for a long time in your shed or in your garage. Maybe share that with somebody else. Well, I hope you learned something, and I hope you can clean up your tools and get ready for spring. There's always more to learn in the garden. Bye-bye.